So on the face of it, this is a war between the Kurdish forces and Turkey. But Turkey is fighting this war in another country, and that country is Syria. The war in Syria has been going on for years now, one of the many proxy wars that West Asia has seen. In fact, this region, that is West Asia, is an old theatre of such conflicts. Let me explain. This is West Asia. It is witnessing 4 armed conflicts as of today. The civil war in Yemen, the war in Syria, a proxy conflict between Iran and Saudi Arabia in different parts of the region, and finally, an insurgency in Iraq. These are the players in the mix, and this may look like a list of countries to you, but these are in fact 2 camps. One that leans towards America and another that sides with Russia. These may look like strategic alliances, but they're largely driven by arms sales. So America and Russia are running a flourishing weapons trade in West Asia. Weapons manufacturers like conflict. They like never-ending wars, so that means more profit. West Asia is a classic case study for this. Arms imports in West Asia have almost doubled in the past 5 years. They increased by a whopping 87% between 2009 and 2013. Listen to these numbers very carefully, because these are stunning figures. From 2014 to 2018, Saudi Arabia has been the world's largest weapons importer. Egypt comes third. Its imports tripled in the same period. And during these years, Israel's arms imports grew by 354%. Qatar's arms imports rose by 225%. Iraq hiked its imports by 139%. These are stunning figures, as I said. Guess who benefited the most from this trend? America and Russia. They remain the world's largest arms exporters. And the war in Syria has become a showroom for weapons sales for both these countries, America and Russia. In 2016, Al Jazeera reported that the Syrian war has helped Moscow boost its status as a major arms producer and exporter. In 2015, orders with Moscow for arms surged to $56 billion. 2015 was the peak of the war in Syria. If Russia is doing record-breaking business, how can America be too far behind? Washington gave weapons to its allies in Syria. In fact, it wouldn't be wrong to say that the Turkish invasion of Syria is, in a way, sponsored by the US. A report in Forbes says that decades of American assistance has equipped the Turkish military forces. Most of the fighter jets used by the Turkish Air Force are made in America. The Americans have supplied a majority of Turkey's main battle tanks for the US, from the US to Russia, to Turkey, Iran, and even Saudi Arabia. They have all provided deadly weapons to their proxies in Syria, and they've all often ended up in wrong hands. In 2017, UK-based conflict armament found that the Islamic State managed to get its hands on vast supplies of weapons. Around 90% of these weapons originated in Russia, China, and Eastern European states. Even American and Saudi weapons supplied to Syrian opposition forces were found in the hands of the Islamic State. This is a direct violation of various international agreements between the US and its allies. Ultimately, in one way or the other, these weapons contributed to the death of more than 400,000 people in the Syrian war. I end where I began. This is not about ideology. This is not about strategic alliances. This is not about history. This is not about religion. This is not about ethnicity. This is about selling weapons and making money and killing tens of thousands of innocent people in the process.